I planned an entire romantic weekend for my boyfriend, only for him to drop a comment that made me realize just how one-sided our relationship really is, and I think this is the end for us. We're currently doing distance and just got done having a lovely, fall getaway in a little mountain town. We had an amazing time and all in all, I'd say it was one of the better weekends we've had as of late. However, on our last night in town, we were bar hopping, and just chatting when I said I'd never been to a pumpkin patch before. He seemed to have an aha moment and responded along the lines of, "Oh, that makes sense. I was wondering why you hadn't taken me to a pumpkin patch yet," and just chuckled a bit, but it didn't come off very light-hearted like the conversation had been prior. Now, normally something like this wouldn't get a second thought from me. But in the 2.5 years we've been together, a constant point of contention was the lack of effort or planning I put into the relationships and dating. Mind you, this entire weekend trip was planned and paid for by me, as was the last weekend visit we did before this one as well. His argument that I don't plan things has never sat well with me, since it's a blanket statement that just isn't true. I've planned many a date, reservations for job opportunities, at-home quality time, etc., but conveniently during a lot of those plans, they don't pan out because he starts an argument with me over something: what I'm wearing, why I didn't tell him to dress up more, ogling other men while on said dates. Or if I make plans with other friends and family, he gets passive-aggressive and scolds me for never putting the same amount of effort into him as I do them. Part of why I can't get over this comment is because the last visit we had where I went to his hometown, he commented on the pumpkin patch his city puts on every year. He mentioned how he's gone a handful of times and that it was a go-to date for him back when he was single. Am I wrong for feeling weird about all of this? He's always portrayed himself as a traditional and provider type of man, but the majority of the relationship I've been the breadwinner. I've helped him an ungodly amount financially, and I've sacrificed a lot of time in relationships with family and friends, and even prioritized him and the relationship over my own work and graduate school responsibilities. In hindsight, I 100% feel like he love-bombed me hard, and who he is now is nothing like how he portrayed himself to be, or continues to think or see himself as. Typing this all out, I feel pretty icky, but I'm just wondering if I'm overthinking things at this point. OP comments 2 hours later. Wow, ladies. I was not expecting this much of a response in the slightest. I'm shook. The gasps I've been gasping have me a bit shaken. Thank you so much for all the feedback. Gentle, harsh, or somewhere in between. Reading my post back and realizing I let this man back into my life after attempting to leave a few months ago has me feeling a bit sick. In a way, I've known the cycle with hasn't been good, but I've been afraid to break it and naively hopefully things would change. The manipulation runs deeper than I even realized before so many of you commented after getting such little detail and backstory. I'm processing, reflecting, and trying to keep from falling apart completely. I know what the woman was before him would do, and that's what I'm leaning on right now. Update, 9 days later. Hi all. I made a post a week or so ago about a crappy comment my BF, now ex, made while we were on a weekend getaway together. Long story short, we broke up. Over a week of bickering and arguing followed after that same weekend over something different. I was the one to upset him, but he couldn't stop speaking horribly to me, insulting me, or just being mean to me over it. I apologized endlessly for upsetting him, but when I asked that he stop being so mean with how he spoke to me, he said I deserved it. So among all the other various red flags that have been there the entire relationship, the comment about the pumpkin patch and the aforementioned behavior with another argument was it for me. He was taking out his financial situation and lack of employment on me, saying I didn't deserve to complain about anything. One of my 2 jobs gave me a 2-week notice during all this, and I was blindsided by it. That I should be grateful for having a master's degree, which I have loans for just like my first degree, and that losing one of my jobs was just karma for me being ungrateful since I don't know what rock bottom looks like. This coming from his resentment that I've always had my family to lean on when needed. He called me a goody two-shoes, gated community kid that doesn't know crap about the real world, all while I've been the breadwinner and financial support for us both most of the relationship. He disrespected the hard work my parents did, 20+ years of military service each, and they both still work, to give me and my siblings the life we have, and I just couldn't deal after all that was said. I'll be getting the last of my belongings next week since we were already distanced, and I'll be rid of this narcissistic jerk forever after that. I have my master's graduation in December. I'm treating myself to an all-ladies retreat in Egypt as a celebration, which my ex had an issue with because I wasn't putting that money towards us, shocker. And I'm getting so much quality time back with my family after I let him isolate me. I'm rekindling the relationship with my 2 childhood friends that I lost over this man. I'm on social media again. I had to delete it because he again had an issue with it, and I'm just feeling like myself again. Edit to add, the next day, I just want to say thank you again to all the advice, brutal or not, that was given here. As well as the kind DMs. I've never felt so seen and understood before. It feels like the fog I was in that entire relationship lifted as soon as I heard from you all that I wasn't crazy. I'm convinced now that this man is at best someone with severe narcissist tendencies and at worst, undiagnosed. I know that gets thrown around a lot, but the projecting, the mirroring, and the fact that his mom has a history of mental health struggles, which I never got explicit details of, I feel like something's going on for sure. He took advantage of my kind heart and gentle spirit, and I let him for a long time, hoping he'd change. But I'm free from his torment and constant mental/emotional abuse, and I feel so at peace. Some of OP's comments. Commenter number 1, doesn't sound like he ever really liked you, but he liked having you bankroll his lifestyle for him. OP, he always tried to play things off as a, you know I say things when I'm mad or angry kinda deal, but I just don't buy it. Anytime we have argued, which was endlessly, he resorted to name calling, insulting personality traits of mine, lifestyle choices, my family, my friends. Any and everything about me was fair game, and he'd say awful things. I never used to stoop to his level at first, but after 2 years of it I started firing back. But of course the mean things I say are what gets held over my head now. The guy had crazy insecurities and nothing was ever good enough for him, so he projected it onto me. So glad to be rid of him. Commenter, good, see how long he lasts on his own. Every accusation was a confession. Can you send a friend or family to go collect your stuff, or go with you, as leaving an abusive ex is an especially dangerous time. OP, I will have my family go with me thankfully. They were more than happy to offer me the help and I'm just so grateful for them. He always tried to make me out as immature for having close bonds and support from them. He really isolated me for a long time, and then my family still being here for me means everything. I'm never letting a man make me feel like he did it her again.